It's Friday, and that means it's 7:02 Unplugged.
I've been telling you about this, wanting you to position yourself, to ready yourself for this hour special. And it's something we've been working on for a while. So it is a great privilege this afternoon. We have one of our finest sons as South Africa here with us. I don't know if there are enough words to adequately describe all that you are and all the things that you have done for this society. Good afternoon. Johnny Clegg, ladies and gentlemen.
Hi, good afternoon.
How are you?
I'm very good. How are you doing?
Very good, very
Thanks.
good. I think a lot of us didn't see it like, oh, what, retiring? Okay. But it's been an exceptional career.
Thank you. It's been a long one. 36 years of non-stop touring, songwriting, 18 albums. Through the best and the worst of times. So it's looking back, it's been a kind of a blink for me, because when you're in the moment, everything just sort of happens. But now, one finds oneself in 2017 when one first started touring professionally in 1982. My first hit single was in 1976. Was a Friday.
Yes. And here we are.
Yes.
On a Friday. And I watched you now because you're going to do what we can call an acoustic performance.
Yeah.
So you'll be on that guitar, self-taught, picking it up, at 14?
Well, I had started, my mom was a jazz singer and also a cabaret singer, so I grew up with music, and she bought me a guitar when I was 12. It was a classical Spanish, and I was learning. And then at the age of 14, I stumbled on Zulu street guitar, Maskanda music, and I was just taken by the fact that Zulu migrant workers had taken a Western instrument and they'd Africanized it. They reconfigured the tuning and the picking style, and I really wanted to learn it. So in that regard, I wasn't self-taught. I had a mentor.
Yes, Charlie Mzila.
Yes.
Where is he?
He's still around. He's in Togoza now. He was in Durban. He's just come up.
Yeah.
And he's getting like me, long in the tooth. And he introduced me to the migrant community that he was connected to, which came from Emabomvini in Msinga. And then I joined his dancing team. And I worked basically playing in the streets with him and dancing until
and beans and gatherings and hostels.
Hey, sakembula, sakingamadais. So he was a Shinga. He was a great warrior from his area, and there were a few faction fights. He was involved in one, and he got arrested, and he went out my life briefly. And then I met Sipho Mchunu. In fact, he came to look me up because he heard there was this white boy who could play Zulu music, and he didn't believe it. Yeah. And he challenged me to a little duel, and I just loved his sense of humor. And he was somebody who was completely traditional. He had never been to school. He couldn't read or write, even in Zulu. He came from a large family of 24 and six wives. His father was he was actually the senior headman of Makabeleni near Kranskop in Natal. And he was my age, first of all, because all the guitarists that I met were much older than me. So I was 16, he was 17. Yeah, we were both kids, and he was working as a gardener, and we just got on as two spirits, trying to find themselves in the world, and the music became just an expression of that.
Yeah, you were born in the UK.
Yes.
What is it, Lancaster?
Yes, I was born in Rochdale, outside Manchester, in I suppose it's the province of Lancaster. But I left when I was 6 months old.
Yes.
My mom was born in then Rhodesia, and she divorced my dad sort of straight after I was born, and I grew up on a farm in Gweru, until I was about 6, and then she married a South African crime reporter, and we moved to South Africa.
Yes, but it's interesting because you say that in a New York Times interview, I should mention, that you felt like an immigrant.
Yes,
in South Africa.
I did, because from there we went to Zambia. Because I grew up in 3 different African countries, and I got used to the idea as a youngster that I was always on the move.
Yes.
I couldn't put down roots, which was very similar to the kind of lifestyle that migrant workers had.
Yes, which is what I want to get to. Was that the binding?
It was, yes.
Yeah.
It was an element of the binding, I suppose, resonance that I had with these people. But the thing that really captured me was that they were so proud of their culture and they were so involved with their culture that they imported it from the rural areas into the hostels. So on Saturdays and Sundays, this huge cultural carpet would be thrown out into the streets, and you would find traditional healers on the pavement selling their wares on newspaper or brown paper or on cardboard. There would be young boys roasting meat.
Yeah.
There would be the smell of wood fire mixed with urine, mixed with the most exotic smells you can imagine.
Of herbs.
And just people trading traditional wares, shields, spears, fighting sticks, amapeshu, izinene, all of those things. And it was just in an urban environment. It was just so amazing and overpowering for me as a youngster.
Yeah.
That I just wanted to learn more and more and more. And they were very, very generous and kind, and they were intrigued at my tenacity at hanging around, because by the time I was 15 I was being arrested inside the hostels by the SAP for breaking the Group Areas Act.
You were quite immersed in the culture,
correct,
with the people.
Yes.
So was that, and you went on to study anthropology at Wits.
Yes.
So did that inform your anthropology interest and studies? How did it shape and inform this immersion, your approach, your involvement?
Well, in a way, anthropology was a natural continuation of what I was living. I was an urban anthropologist. I didn't understand that. I actually wasn't an anthropologist yet, because I was actually trying to work out an identity for myself. You know, young adolescents, they need to work out, you know, what am I? You know, am I a Christian? Am I a South African? Am I Portuguese? Or am I a Catholic Portuguese South African? Yeah. You know, all of those kinds of things that young people have to deal with. You know, am I straight? Am I gay? All of those things which young people have to sort of work out and stumble through and grapple with, etc. And so the issue of identity for me was quite an issue, because I knew that I had a father in England who I didn't know, so there was an English element. I was born to a Jewish mother, so there was a Jewish claim on my identity. So there's an English and a Jewish claim, and then there was a Zulu claim. So I was working through all of these things, and the thing that the migrant workers promised me as a young was that I could have an African identity, which was a super identity over all the others. And that for me was a huge relief in a way. So I started to accumulate praise names from, you know, you have a dancing name and you have a warrior's name. And so I was young, you know, and so they would laughingly call me such and such, you know, whatever it is. And so I started to see I have a place, I have an identity here, I have a way of constructing who I could be by interacting. So I think that was a very important part of my, you know, adolescence, from you know, sort of 14 till about 19 years old. I was grappling with that, and then on top of that, I was getting immense pleasure by shaping my sense of myself through war dancing, through stick fighting, through all of those other aspects which I was introduced to, and it became part of what I am.
Yes. And I wonder how, because it was a different time. It was a different time.
Yes.
And the debates that we're having in South Africa are different from then as we work through everything that has happened in this country.
Right.
And you look at Rachel Dolezal, for instance, or the DJ, the young DJ who says that she also identifies quite heavily with the Kasi DJ with black identity. And how do you think South Africans in this time would have dealt with this assimilation and this immersion and expression that you gave to all of it?
Well, I think there's a difference, a very big difference from the time I came from. I lived under apartheid. Apartheid was a system of racial and cultural segregation, forced segregation. You were not allowed to assimilate. You are not allowed to have a black girlfriend or whatever it is, on pain of being arrested and going to jail.
Yes.
So I got into trouble because I wanted to understand and share and enjoy a construction of a broader idea of who I could be. Now, from an anthropological point of view, all culture is human culture. Culture doesn't belong to anybody. The most successful societies in the world are those who borrowed from the most cultures around them. And so you find that people sleep on beds, which were a Roman invention, but they think that that's a modern American invention. So you have all of this, these kinds of ideas which cohere around your identity. What is your identity? And I think the search for identity is an important component. And whether I want to learn Iroquois language and dance like an Iroquois Indian, it enables me to somehow also understand their humanity, to incorporate their humanity into my frame of reference. This idea that we must reintroduce cultural apartheid and linguistic apartheid because you don't have a right to do this or don't, I think that's a dead end, because we fought so long and so hard to overcome that. I think the bigger and the more exotic the spaghetti is, the better.
I hope you're logged in. I hope you're ready, because we're about to begin this afternoon's performances with our guest this afternoon. On the website, he's described as what? A dancer, anthropologist, singer, songwriter, academic, activist, and I just love this one, French Knight. After he was honored in 2015 and recently became a member of the most excellent order of the British Empire. So he's been recognized in other parts of the world as he's performed beyond our shores with great reception over this expansive career. So the first song that we are about to be treated to is The Crossing.
702 Unplugged. Don't miss a beat.
1, 2, 3, 1.
Through all the days that eat away at every breath that I take, through all the nights I have lain alone in someone else's dream awake, all the words in truth that have been spoken that the wind just blows away. Oh, it's only you that remains with me, clear as the light of day. Oh, siesta, sisto figa we baba no man. Oh, siesta, sia putla lom shama, sia wela la preshea, ule zontaba semnyama. strong man in a downtown bar takes a beating without making a sound. Through swollen eyes, oh, he sways and he smiles, 'cause no one can put him down. Inside him, a boy looks up to his father for a sign of an approving eye. Oh, it's funny how those once so close are now gone, still so affect our lives. Osieza, Osieza, sizofika webaba ngoma. Osieza, Osieza, siyabuka lomhlaba, siyawela la pressure, ulezo ntaba zemnyama, lapha sobheka phansi, konke kudlubheka. Osi, oh, I'm coming, oh, I'm coming, oh, I'm coming, I'm gonna lay me down, oh, I'm coming, I'm gonna lay me down. Make that crossing over the dark lands. I'd cross that place. So big up dancing. Konke kudlubheka.
Wow. Yes. I'm not trying to hold back tears. Jeez. Wow. There's a place where your music transports us. There's no question about it.
Thank you very much.
It's just an imagined place, of course. That was just wonderful. So let's look at this song and when it was written
Yes.
and what the message you were driving was.
Well, I had a number of mentors. The song was written for Dudu Mtuaziwai Undlovu, who was my teacher and later partner in Juluga and in Savuga in the dancing sequences that we worked out. I have three different styles of dance under my belt. Isipaka or Intlangwini, or sometimes called Isikwaka. It was the first one that Charlie introduced me to, and then Sipho Mchunu introduced me to Ishameni, and then in 1978 I was at George Gochman's hostel and I stumbled on Umzansi, a dance style, and I asked to join the team and they said yes, you may, and I asked for somebody to help get me into the new moves.
Yes.
And Dudu was introduced to me and we hit it off. And then in late 1979 Juluka launched its first album, and we did a show at the Market Theatre. It was the debut performance of Juluka. Was I think a 2 or 3 week run.
Yes.
And after the second or third show, I said, there's space for this other dance. So I asked Dudu, would he come? And we brought the house down with that one. And so I danced with him for 13 years. And in 1992, he was assassinated in the political violence that gripped South Africa. And I wrote that song. Now, in traditional Zulu terms, when you die, it's believed that your spirit wanders. It's caught between this world and the next world for about a year. And there's a ceremony called Ukubuyisa Idlozi, and
Yes.
I attended that, and I was very moved because it was basically calling on his confused spirit to now accept the fact that he's an ancestor and put him into the place of a living ancestor. So
Yes.
I wrote the song "The Crossing" for him, to remember him, and also there was another very important moment which came to me, which was that all South Africans were involved in a crossing from the old order to a new order, and we were in between that 4 years, 1990 to 1994. Nobody knew how it was all gonna unfold. There was such huge violence going on. So it was a double crossing in a way, and a metaphor for the living and the dead.
Yes. I remember even in the video, when you look at the choice of images that you chose, there's an image, his framed image, and then next to it, of course, Kingho. So representative, of course, of the ceremony or what was involved, what needed to happen.
Yes.
Innocent says, one of the greatest, referring to our guest this afternoon. Jill Sanders says, the great Johnny Clegg. And another one says, true inspiration. One says he deserves a standing ovation from our continent, a true reconciler. And just lots of you enjoying the music, saying where it takes you back to. One from Dipolelo says, Ke rata ntate Johnny Clegg.
Ke a bolela.
A re ka pelo ya ka kaofela. So and saying please give him a fat hug. Thank you for such wonderful musical memories that you have created for all South Africans. You are a legend. And then Sipho says, please ask him to say the praise names. Izibongo, please. I guess you went through them quite quickly earlier on.
Bakuzonda belungu, bakuzonda fletini, bakuzonda khilana, bafuna umlungu udlu phuthu nabantu bakhe.
Yes, so empowering. And then the nicknames you have, over the years.
Yes,
you've been given some nicknames.
Well, my first name was Madlebe, Ditsebe. Yes, big ears, because my school haircut made my ears stand out.
Yeah,
a bit like the doors of a Volkswagen. So then I got a short one, Zikri Zendota, but then the one that stuck was Skay. Skay Jigile Shobeni, which Skay, it comes from the Afrikaans Yuk Skay, yoke. Skay is the pin that goes through the yoke to hold the ox's neck in place. Those pins.
Yes.
So it says Skay Jigele Mashobeni, the pin of oppression, because it's a yoke that turned itself into a tail. So from the front of the ox to now Ishoba is a dancing tail. So it means I transform myself. I should have been a yoke, but I became a dancing tail.
Yes, well, in traditional healing circles, Ishoba, yes, is for
that's right. Yes,
too.
Correct. Yes. So Skay is the name that most people know me by.
Anything to do with Mr. Mchunu and his herding days?
Well, he's still herding, and he's still we're actually going down for a Ugubuyisa ceremony on the 16th of June for his wife who passed last year. But he's got a beautiful homestead on the Tugela River, which is, I was part of building the very first Muzi house after we played at the Swaziland independence celebrations, I think in 1978, and we each got 750 rand, and it was such a huge amount of money. And he said, I'm not going back to Joburg. I'm going home to build a home. And he took that 750 and he built this amazing first umuzu.
And he had labor, free labor.
Yes, and I was there and we worked on it, and we paslegad, we made these bricks out of the mud, the river mud. So great days.
Yes, we have to make sure we squeeze in and make sure afford the music enough time, because I get the sense that you have stories for days.
And days.
So let's get ready for what Linda has requested. Linda has sent this message. Linda in Soweto says, I adore Johnny Clegg. Please, in capital letters, please ask him for Scatterlings of Africa.
Okay, you got it.
Yes, Linda, there you go. You've got it.
702 Unplugged.
the sun sinking low. Scatterlings and fugitives, hooded eyes and weary brows, seek refuge in the night. They are the scatterlings of Africa, each uprooted one. Oh mama, yeah, on that road to Perlman, where the world began. I love the scatterlings of Africa, each and every one. Oh mama, yeah, in their hearts a burning hunger beneath this copper sun. Ancient bones from old Dubai, echoes of the very first cry. Who made me here and why? Beneath this copper sun. African idea, African idea. Make the future clear, make the future clear. And we are scatterlings of Africa, both you and I. Oh mama, yeah, on that road to Perlman, beneath this copper sky. And we are scatterlings of Africa, on the journey to the stars. Far below we live forever, dreams of what we were. Yeah, oh, yeah, oh, yeah, oh, yeah, oh, yeah, oh, yeah, oh, yeah,
If you're not watching on Facebook, you don't know what you're missing out on. This acoustic set, the chemistry, the just watching the two of you exchanging these cues about what's next and what's about to happen.
Well, that's Andy Innes, my cohort and brother and soldier in arms.
Yes.
Since 1992.
Oh, wow.
Ubambi lelo.
Hey.
Yeah. Hey.
Watch this year.
Yeah, gold watch this year. Namathela, Namathela.
Now, that's an incredible song.
Thank you.
I want to ask you about it because when you listen to the lyrics,
yes,
it's ancient, it's transcendent, it makes you want to dig into your encyclopedias.
Okay.
And find a book or two that'll give you a sense of what exactly you're talking about. There's that line, what, ancient bones, and you even emphasized it this time. It sounded like there was an emphasis on Old Dubai, echoes of our very first cry, who made me here and why, beneath the copper sky. What is Scatterlings of Africa about?
Basically, it's saying that Africa is the birthplace of mankind. I was lecturing in anthropology at the time. I did a course on race and racism. And in 1978, we didn't have much genetic knowledge. But what we did have is we had paleontological evidence. Old Dubai is in Tanzania. It's where the Leakey family discovered a hominid remain, which brought the birthplace to Africa. And so through a lot of accumulated data, we explained to young students who had grown up in an apartheid school, church, maybe family and state, that the races, as they have been separated, is a false dichotomy. Mm-hmm. And everybody's human. We share the same genes. And in fact, it was only in 1985, 86 that population genetics was became a public knowledge. Mm-hmm. And about 5 years later, it was declared that African genes are the oldest human genes in the world, and scientifically, everybody is an African.
Yes.
And so it's just saying, and so the song is about basically how Africa was the birthplace of that first primitive human being who said, "Who made me here and why?" Which is the deepest question that one can ask, and what makes us human.
Yes.
And then scattered to the rest of the world.
Oh, you're drawing me to tears. Right. So let's take a break, because we've got more songs coming up, and what lies behind the music, and that ever important announcement about additional dates that have been added to this autobiographical tour that my guest Johnny Clegg will be embarking on. The initial announcement saw tickets being sold out very, very quickly. So you want to hear exactly when and where you can go and get yours for the dates that have been added due to public demand.
We baba unzima kulomhlaba, we baba lomsebenzi ubhokile, we baba nemali ayingeni, awungathi leli fikile ngaphela, we baba, we baba, we baba unzima kulomhlaba, we baba lomsebenzi ubhokile, we baba nemali ayingeni, awungathi leli fikile ngaphela, we baba, we baba, awungithi woza Friday my darling, woza Friday umsebenzi ubhokile, woza Friday my sweetie, woza Friday ilanga linkomile wena, we baba unzima kulomhlaba, we baba lomsebenzi ubhokile, we baba nemali ayingeni, awungathi leli fikile ngaphela, we baba, we baba, awungithi woza Friday my darling, woza Friday umsebenzi ubhokile, woza Friday my sweetie, woza Friday ilanga linkomile wena, awungithi woza Friday my darling, woza Friday umsebenzi ubhokile, woza Friday my sweetie, woza Friday ilanga linkomile wena, thatha makwasa. Goodbye, I'm going now. I'm going. Goodbye, I'm going now. I'm going. Tomorrow morning. I'm going. Tomorrow morning. I'm going. Tomorrow morning. I'm going. Tomorrow morning. I'm going. Goodbye, I'm going now.
I'm going.
Goodbye, I'm going now.
I'm going.
Tomorrow morning,
I'm going.
tomorrow morning,
I'm going.
goodbye, I'm going now. I'm going now.
What a fitting song. I just love that. The structure, of course, it's a fusion. I think some of the songs, there are influences from folk.
Crossover. Yes, that's
crossover.
right. Yeah.
But then you also kept the structure of traditional Mbakanga.
Yes, and mbube, the harmonies. So a lot of my harmonies in my Zulu choruses are influenced by Umzansi and Ishameni, and a bit of Baka, what we call izinhlamvu, which are the songs you sing before you initiate a dance. Mm-hmm. So, the dance leader would sing a song and they'd answer. They'd sing, and they small. Ngishele intombi enjani ehamba nesoka ngizoyenza ninamashe ndiqhome izoloma. Then they go, ngishele intombi enjani ehamba nesoka ngizoyenza ninamashe ndiqhome izoloma. And then they put the dance in. So all those harmonies that we sing together, they influenced the rules of my composition of arranging the vocals around what I do. And so that song, goodbye, I'm going now.
Yes.
I'm going now. It's a very mbube, skatami.
Yes, that was just, thank you for taking us back, in fact.
Thanks so much.
It was a pleasant surprise after the break. So we have one last one, time for one last performance. Where shall we go? What do you have in mind?
I have Afrika Kukhala Bangcwele.
Let's do that, and then we'll give you the dates. I've got them here. Lots of you asking about the additional dates. There's still tickets for the 30th of June and the 1st of July, Grand West Arena in Cape Town. If you don't get anything here in Joburg, it would be worth flying down. But the early bird, of course, will get their hands on the tickets. The added dates in Joburg are the 10th, the 12th, the 10th, 11th, and 12th. This is in August at Monte Casino. So 10, 11, 12 August in Monte Casino for the final Journey World Tour that Johnny Clegg has put on, this autobiographical tour that he's embarked on. You don't want to miss it. The 10th, 11th, and 12th of August here in Johannesburg at Monte Casino.
It's Friday, and that means it's 7:02 Unplugged.
Falling like a symphony on the rooftop of my heart. There's a movement in the silent deep. Before the big dream starts, I see your eyes shining like a neon light. You smiling in the dark. Ooh, what made you so strong? Made you so strong. See you walking in the marketplace. You buy political regrets. You've been walking on the water again. You know your feet never get wet. You just say, Afrika Kukhala Bangcwele. Yeah, Afrika Kukhala Bangcwele wema. Afrika Kukhala Bangcwele. Afrika Kukhala Bangcwele wema. Alala, alala. I light a candle for the innocent ones. I say a prayer for our love. I say a prayer for peace on the earth, for the daughters and the sons. While your eyes will shine when you're gonna light. Ooh, what made you so strong? You're strong. I've been waiting all my life for this. deal goes down. There's a AK-47 on the dashboard. You know Mercy's left town. Africa kukhala bandwele. Africa kukhala bandwele wema. Africa kukhala bandwele. Africa kukhala bandwele wema. Alala. Africa kukhala bandwele. Africa kukhala bandwele wema. Africa kukhala bandwele. Africa kukhala bandwele wema.
Those dates again, the 10th, the 11th and the 12th of August at Monte Casino. Those are the added dates for the Final Journey World Tour that Johnny Clegg is embarking on. Words fail.
Thank you very much. That was it was a bit taxing, but I actually really enjoyed it. Thank you so much.
Good, and thank you very much. We have to thank you. That's why I say that words fail. Because we have people like you amongst us. Thank you very much. So we're looking forward to that. The 10th, the 11th and the 12th of August at Monte Casino. Those are the added dates. Don't miss it. The Final Journey Tour. That is, it was an exceptional Friday. Lots of you have indicated your enjoyment. Thank you so much. And thank you for watching it on our 702 Facebook page.
702 Unplugged. Don't miss a beat.